Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. I just finished recording a Grade My Trade video, first video in that particular series. I plan to release that video on Wednesday, the 20th of March. I actually am working on that particular day. There is potential I won't be doing a daily rundown video because I'll probably get home around about 8 p.m. But there is a chance I might do a short one because these videos, I tend to ramble on, and these videos could be almost 1 hour long. So I am trying, eventually I'm going to try to shorten these videos down to maybe at most 20 or 30 minutes, but that means I will have to cut a few things out. So look out for that video. Grade my trade on AccuSensus. I have been a little bit harsh on myself, potentially in that particular grade, give myself a D minus. Now let's have a look at what happened on the markets today. Looks like a pretty good day just by looking at market index. It's now currently 3:28 p.m. local time in Brisbane, so the markets are closed. And generally an update, apart from all tech, down slightly. But before we have a look at what happened in the different sectors, just go through some of your comments. Now, this is one area where I might be able to decrease some of my decrease a bit of time, but a few comments here. I do want to thank you for covering APA yesterday. Anytime. Do you think core lithium is close to a bottom? I'd probably say no. Probably the best way to say it is I have no idea. All to do with lithium prices. Are lithium prices, have they reached a bottom? Look at core lithium price chart. Looks pretty bearish at the moment. Might see a nice little bounce, but just because we see a bounce doesn't mean the low is in. Some big volume coming in, that could be a good sign. Maybe we are heading towards the bottom. I'd say more than likely we are near the bottom, but really for core lithium to do well, we need to see lithium prices starting to increase. So thank you. Any thoughts on RAC? No thoughts at all on RAC. I don't even know what they do. Is this race oncology? Race oncology? Hello. Okay, so something's been happening with this company, and we saw a pretty down day today, down 11%. That's fairly negative. But with the share price running up like it has on pretty good volume as well, you're always going to see a bit of a retraction in the share price. Share price has probably about doubled or so in a fairly short period of time. So a share price going down like this in one day would be a bearish sign. But when I see, before this day, when I see a share price rising like this, I would not, nowhere, no chance in hell would I get in with a chart like that. Because you always, whenever you see the share price exponentially rising, you're always going to see the share price collapse or possibly collapse thereafter. I want to see the share price rising at a nice level, a comfortable level for me. Anyway, so probably the company released something positive. Company has no, they probably released something positive, but I have no idea what it is. Are you planning on entering PPE, which is people in? So I did trade this a while ago when the share price hit about $1 or just under $1. There it is. It bounced off the 11th of December. I traded this, just a trade, a support level, got 20% out of that in a fairly quick period of time. Share price, in fact, went from around $1 all the way up, back up to $1.44. And the share price has gone back down to $1. But $1 is acting like a really strong support level, as it should, for this company. In fact, the share price is staying above $1 since around about the 26th of February. And whenever the share price looks like it might fall below $1, we see a little bit of support. We actually saw it today. I'm pretty sure. Let's have a look at share price today. Share price at one point today did go below $1. Yeah, the low today was 99.5 cents. So as soon as share price went below $1, we saw some buying coming in. Now, if you look at the buy side, only one buyer below or above $1. That's $1.02.5. So go back to the chart, look at the not the 1 minute chart. We'll have a look at the 5 minute chart. Yeah, we can see the share price bouncing off $1 again. It's done it consistently, this company. A pretty big volume. The last time it bounced off $1, it wasn't a big volume, but still bounced. It consistently does that. Again, pretty good bounce off $1 back here where I did my trade. Look at that. Big bounce. Took my profits at $1. No, it might have been before that. Well, it's actually well before that. This is I keep reminding myself, this is the 5 minute chart. So the initial bounce when I traded this, look at that bounce. Beautiful bounce off $1. So the share price actually did fall below $1, but we had really good volume coming in. That's one of the reasons why I actually did this trade was not only share price hitting a support level, we also saw some really good volume coming in. And if you look at the 5-minute chart, beautiful bounce off that. And I took my profits at 20%. So if you go back to the daily chart, this is what drew me in was just the volume. Look at the volume, increase in volume. Okay, so am I interested again in people? I don't know. We haven't seen any bounce now, so no more bounces, which tells me there's not as much demand for people in shares as there was back in December. I could even see the share price falling below $1 and remaining below $1 if we don't see the demand coming and if we see extra supply. Where will the extra supply come? From those traders who were expecting a bounce off $1 and it never comes. Share price falls to say 97 cents and they get out en masse, maybe not en masse, but that would put pressure on the share price. So at this point in time, I am following people in, not closely, like every minute, every day, but I am following people in just to see what happens with the share price movement. What do you think of Sonic Healthcare now? I did have a look at Sonic Healthcare a few days ago. And I am doing a video on this company soonish, the financial year 23 result video. This is bad. It's not looking good for Sonic Healthcare. Broke through support level at $28.50. And you can see why that's support level because like a double bottom here and the share price rallied off that. Not only that, if you go back further, there was a nice little bounce off 28.50 back in February of 23 and maybe even further back. No, that's it. And the share price has fallen through that level. So we have seen a break of a support level. So we did initially see the break, a bounce. On the 21st of February, share price actually did get to 28.50 and we saw a bounce, but that bounce was weak and the share price has fallen through. This looks pretty weak. Now, Sonic Healthcare is a quasi high quality company. I'm not sure if I would call it high quality company, but wait out for that video, the financial year 23 result video. It's my next financial year 23 result video I will be doing. Not sure when I'll be recording that, probably by the end of this week for release, maybe on Saturday or Sunday. Thank you for your question on Sonic Healthcare, Monogram. Okay, so I'm not going to try and pronounce your name, Rahul. Hi, Nep. Actually, this is my favorite question. I did go through the questions, and this is my favorite question. Maybe by far. Thanks for all the videos. They are super informative and give great ideas about the market. I started watching your videos about a month ago. You have really helped me develop my understanding. I am 19 years old. And the reason I love this particular comment is I am 19 years old. I don't necessarily like 19 years old, but the very fact that a 19-year-old is thinking about investing is absolutely amazing. Because the first advice I would ever give anyone in regards to investing, and this is foolproof advice, is start investing as young as you are. Now, I can't get in trouble for that, even though I'm not supposed to give investing advice, but to say you should start investing as young as you are. I think Warren Buffett started when he was like 8 or 9 or something ridiculous like that. I wish I started investing when I was 5 years old. In fact, I wished my parents started investing in me before I was born. And that is probably the best way to really plan for your child's life is start to investing in that for them before they're born. In fact, I think the government should do that, and I have radical ideas when it comes to that. Anyway, I'm 19 years old, have currently been passively investing, aka listening to my dad, which is fair enough. I'm not negative on passive investing. I think most people probably should passively invest. But if you do have a passion for investing, I have a massive passion for investing. So I don't care about ETFs. I just care about individual companies. But again, I have a passion. And I think if you can find that passion, then instead of passively invest or ETF investing, find individual companies that you love, high quality companies. So passive investing for about a year, have found a bit of success, but I've now changed to active investing. What non-financial advice, that's very clever, very good, would you give to a young investor like me? Skills or areas to focus on, fundamentals or technical, or mistakes to avoid? Also, what do you think about Linus? I've done a lot of fundamental research on it and looks good, but the market isn't a big fan right now. I've also held NIC, which is nickel Industries or something, S32, South 32 for a while, and would love your thoughts on it too. Okay. All right, so I wanted to keep this video below 30 minutes, and we're not going to be doing that right now. Okay, so what non-financial advice? Um, find what works for you. Now, what upsets me when I listen to some experts and they say, and this is Phil Town, and in fact, I don't listen to Phil Town anymore because in one of his podcasts, he said there's only one way to invest. That's the way I invest. He's a Warren Buffett fanatic. He's the sort of person who have a Warren Buffett shrine. And he actually said this in one podcast. The only way to invest is the way I invest or Warren Buffett invests. There's no other way works. That's absolutely hogwash. Find what works for you. And the reason I hate that is because most people who can't be successful investing that way think, well, I'm not a good investor. But maybe they could be good investors if they find what works for them. So the most important thing is find what works for you. And it could take you 10 years. It took me, I think it's taken me at least 10 years to find what works for me, even though I have been doing a good job fundamental investing. So I started as a value investor and I have changed now to be more of a technical investor, but I still have a portfolio where I have high quality companies. Also, build upon your knowledge, continually build upon it. So I keep reading and still reading books that increase my knowledge when it comes to fundamentals or technical analysis. How I decipher or discern whether a company is high quality or low quality has completely changed over the last few years because finally I have a really deep understanding on why return on equity, return on invested capital are really important and why those are probably two of the most important metrics. But you won't hear many people talk about those two metrics. So really understand all these different facets of investing. Also, understand that technical analysis is not rubbish. Whenever I hear someone say that technical analysis is rubbish, it doesn't work, I won't say ignore them, but it is a red flag on that particular person. So there are a few people on Ausbiz the Core who do say technical analysis is rubbish, it doesn't work. And even though I do like those particular people, I always question some of their advice or their calls. Okay, mistakes to avoid. Yeah, just find what works for you and don't necessarily listen to what other people might say. Don't listen necessarily listen and take what someone says as gospel. That's probably the most important thing. Find your own light. Find what works for you. Now, Linus and South 32 and Nickel Industries. Let's start with Nickel Industries. I think it's Nickel Industries or something like that. Nickel Industries. I have a feeling this might be turning up. Oh, it's trying to. So I'm pretty sure nickel is starting to turn higher. Tin's starting to turn higher. Nickel starting to turn higher. I'm interested in Metals X for tin. Nickel, I thought might have been showing a little bit more promise. I have heard that this company is highly cashed up. I have not really looked at this company in the past. I would also say that I'm not a big fan of owning mining companies for the long term. I believe mining companies are just short term or even medium term trades because they are highly, highly cyclical. And South 32, I have traded in the past. I wonder if I still got my trade buys. Yeah, there it is. There, I bought it here. I just put buy. And this was actually, I should actually do a grade my trade on this one. So I bought in August 2020. And I was anticipating this support level or this resistance level to be broken. So I bought in August. It was finally broken in November. So 3 months after I bought, I should have bought on the breakout, and the breakout was fairly obvious. And look at that beautiful chart. And I sold somewhere in middle of 2022. So I bought at around about $2.20 and I sold around about $4.50 to $5. I wish I just marked when I sold. That's the sort of trade I like when the mining companies are in favor. I'm not sure why South 32 was in favor at that period of time. So I was putting all these lines. So you can see there was another resistance line here, broke through. I should have added to my position at that point. And then I also put a trend line here. And that trend was broken on the 14th of June, 2022. And after that, yeah, the share price has gone down. So right now, South 32 is in a well-defined downtrend. However, we have seen some good volume coming in, and the share price has bounced. Doesn't necessarily mean the long-term downtrend has come to an end, but I think this is because South 32 mines aluminium. manganese, maybe tin, copper, all those sort of things, or metals. And some of those metals are showing a little bit of strength right now, and possibly South 32 is showing that strength as well. Some good volume coming in as well. So I wouldn't be absolutely bearish on South 32, but the bottom might have been reached for this company. And remember, I said I bought about 220. Share price has just bounced off 280, so not that much higher from when I bought 4 years ago. So again, let's have a look at the weekly chart for South 32, and you should be able to see the cyclicality in this company. Look at that, perfect. Goes up and down in waves. Now, the bottom of the waves is higher than the previous bottom, and the tops are higher than the previous tops, which could tell you that in the long term, this company could be great. But why not just trade this to capture the sentiment, the shorter, medium-term sentiment? And what's the other company? Linus. Oh, this would be, for me, this is definitely just wait for change in sentiment for this company. So I did have this line, which it's not straight, so I should straighten this line. There it is, not straight in that line. So that was a support line. Why was it support? Look at that, April, October, and 3 times share price bounced off that, and then it couldn't bounce off it in January of this year. And you can see the share price just going sideways now, so no bounce. And we also have this downtrend line, and the share price bounced off the support level to the trend line and did it a few times. So ideally, I'd like to see this downtrend line broken before I get excited about Linus rare earths. And the other thing I don't really track is the price of rare earths. So just based off Linus rare earths, you'd say rare earths are under the price, under stress right now. There's quite a few rare earths. I can't name them right off the top of my tongue, but there are quite a few. And more than likely, they're under pressure right now. Hi, Kneppy. I'm new to the market. I'm a regular viewer of your channel. Is it safe to purchase stock from a company that has released a notification of cessation of securities? Yes. In fact, cessation of securities is one of the types of announcements I completely ignore because they're not that important in my mind. Cessation of securities could mean a number of things. In fact, if you just Google it, let's just do that. You could actually go to, so you go to ASX has probably a website here. Performance rights have ceased to a determination by the board under, so performance rights have ceased. I don't really look at these announcements at any reason. Here's one from IAG, notification of cessation of securities. I have never opened up one of these announcements before, so let's have a look at it. So name of entity, let's see if there's any interesting information. So reason for cessation, lapse of conditional right to securities because the conditions have not been or have become incapable of being satisfied. Performance rights and award rights. That has no impact on the company whatsoever. Might have impact on the director or the CEO because they did not get these performance rights or award rights, but I would totally ignore cessation of securities announcements. Hi, Kneppy. Could you share your indicators, please? The short-term and long-term moving average ribbon. I will in a later video because I am running short of time right now. So leave that, just have that announcement in another comment, or that comment in another, not announcement, that comment in another video, and eventually I'll talk about my short-term and long-term moving average ribbons. I want to change it to Carl Capolingo's short and long-term average moving ribbons, and hopefully he will be able to give me access. Hi, enjoy your videos from Casanana. Can't be asked, scrolling through to find out what you've commented on. Could you please list companies you what's RV? Talk about in the comment section. I won't give a time of companies. I can mention the companies I've talked about, but I won't put a timestamp because, to be honest with you, I hate doing that. Really hate doing that. I do that for my technical update videos, and it's the part of that particular video I absolutely hate. The one thing I really, really hate, and to be honest with you, I don't get paid for doing this, so why do something I hate? Particularly if it's going to cause me, not stress, but turn me off doing videos. So I can leave or mention companies I've mentioned in the comment section of the video, but I'm not going to timestamp it, more than likely. Unless someone wants to do it for me for free. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't ask anyone to do that. Okay, that's all the comments. So quite a few comments, and yeah, I want to finish this video by 4 p.m., but I'm not going to do that. So let's have a look at the day on the markets. So good day on the markets. Let's have a look at the sectors. Materials had a good day. Energy had a good day. So mining had a good day today. Real estate had a good day. Utilities good day. Staples bad day. Financials down. So really, what do you call it? A weird day on the ASX. Some sectors had a really good day. Financials had a bad day. Materials had a good day. Banks down 0.37%, but resources up 2.24%. Gold up 1.72%. I'm happy with that. I own a few gold companies, but yeah, interesting day on the markets. Now let's have a look at the best performing companies and the worst performing companies. I won't go through the announcement. No, we'll go through the announcements first. Yeah, let's do that first. So there were a few interesting things today, starting with, no, let's go back further. Come on, ComSec. Do I have to? So starting with KMD brands, they released the half-year results. Always look at half-year results. Now, share price went up, so sort of a muted reaction from the market, which is understandable because the share price of KMD brands has been a bit of a funk over the last year or so. It's getting to the point where I have heard people say this could be good value right now. I think the most important word there is could be good value, because the share price has fallen a fair bit. Fell through support level without any problems at all. That's actually a really bearish sign. That support level was 62.5 cents. It just fell straight through it. That's a bad sign, and that was a sign the share price was going to fall even further. Company released some bad news on the 20th of February. Share price fell by 7.8% on that date. I did have a look at the results, and there was one red flag I found. Now, I could be completely wrong because I went through the results fairly quickly. So I'm going to open up the interim report. No, that's the wrong company. KMD brands. I'm going to open up the half-year report just to see if maybe I was not making things up, but I'm going to go to the cash flow report. There was one thing that concerned me. Here it is. So the company was operating cash flow positive by 42.2 million, which is great. That's great, but that does not take into account leases. Leases, repayment of lease liabilities, which is a real thing, a real cost for this type of business, was 45.1 million. So lease liabilities, or the payment of leases, was greater than the operating cash flow, which means this company burned through cash. And this happened last year as well, and not for the full year. So more than likely, the company's cash flow in the second half of the year is significantly greater than the first half. You'd want it to be, because this company increased their loans and they paid a dividend. So this was the one red flag. I want to see when the company releases their full-year results, just like we saw in financial year 23, the operating cash flow in the second half is significantly greater than the first half, because otherwise this company is burning through cash, yet they're still paying a dividend. Now, there was one reason why I thought maybe the share price might rally, and that was based off, there was a slight, and I probably won't be able to find it now. I think there was a trading update, which sounded, yeah, here it is. Outlook. First half sales trends have improved for all three brands as they begin the second half year. So some good wording there. Maybe some positive sentiment, positiveness coming back into the company and its sales. So hopefully the challenge times for this company have come to, and maybe not come to an end, but are now easing a little bit. So maybe, just maybe, I thought the share price might have increased today, but a slight increase, and maybe the share price has reached a bottom, and this is as low as it's going to get. And maybe there is value in KMD brands. Boral have said, get lost to 7 Group holdings. We don't, here it is. Boral's recommends rejecting the 7 Group offer. I actually am trading Boral Group. Share price has gone up. That's good, up 2.43%. They say we are much more valuable than what you think 7 Group holdings, which is interesting. Well, maybe not interesting, but good for Boral. Anything else here? Boss Energy, highest grade drill results, share price down. Bellevue up 7% on high grade shoots identified at Deakin. Anything else? I can't remember. Oh, New Hope released their half year results as well. And the share price was initially up and up 3.8%. There we have New Hope, Revison in a suspension. Let's not talk about them. Aussie Broadband seeks injunction to set aside Superloop notice. So this stoush between Aussie Broadband and Superloop continues. And I have made some trades today. Maybe I should mention my trades at the start of the video, not towards the middle of the video. So because of this continuous stoush between Superloop and Aussie Broadband, I have sold more than half of my shares in Superloop, and I have sold out my trading position in Aussie Broadband. I just don't like how every single day we're seeing announcements from these two companies. I want it resolved. Superloop did release an announcement saying we want this resolved as soon as possible too. Another announcement from Pentanet, a 5GG cloud upgraded to bring ANZ into Nvidia's global GDN. Nvidia had, what was it? Had some sort of meeting, not meeting, I forget what you'd call it, event today. And there was 20,000 people there. Nvidia's annual developer conference. 20,000 people turned up. There was really interesting articles around the traps. So this one from Financial Review, Nvidia's new $8 billion chip could take AI to a terrifying place. I'm a shareholder of Nvidia, and I'm even more excited about this company now because the thing to invest in is the picks and shovels of an industry, of a sector. So if you don't buy the gold companies, you buy the companies that are selling picks and shovels to the gold explorers. And in a way, Nvidia is the picks and shovels of the AI industry. They are the ones you want to take advantage of. But it's really exciting what they were talking about today, this new chip, which I forget what it was called. It was Blackwell or something. Blackwell. And the other stuff they were doing in terms of robotics and that sort of thing just made me go, wow, this company is on the move. This company will become the biggest company in the world, and it might dwarf other companies in 5 years. So I don't want to get too hyped up about Nvidia, but I don't know. It has the potential to be big because of AI. I do believe there is potential that AI, what we're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years, will revolutionize humanity significantly. It's going to be potentially the biggest thing the world and humanity has ever seen. The way of life, the way we live our lives in, say, 20 years will be completely different than the way we live our lives right now. We don't want to rest on our laurels right now. We don't want to say, well, no, maybe not. This is going to be huge, in my opinion. And I think Nvidia is at the front of this revolution. And I'm going to call it a revolution. It's going to be big, in my opinion. Oh, another one was AVZ Minerals, who have not been traded for about 2 years, successfully defends against Jincheng ICC proceedings. The last time AVZ traded was sometime in 2022. Let's have a look at the chart. May 2022, so almost 2 years ago. Now, there was a get out of AVZ Minerals on the 4th of May. Share price on this day dropped 19.2%. That was get out. That was a bad sign. I don't know what happened on that day, but the share price was in a beautiful uptrend, and then the share price fell like that in one day, and then 2 days later, no more trading. I don't follow what's happening with the company too closely, but they do have some legal stuff going on, and not caused by them. It's caused by this other Chinese company or something who are trying to get AVZ shares for cheap, I forget. Zuno has had a price query. What's happened with Zuno? Up 34.6%. Why? Indeed. We can have a look at this, because I think that's it in terms... Oh, universal biosensors. This is an interesting one. FDA approval for Expresia Prime. This is a sort of announcement I might get excited about. So let's have a look to see how universal biosensors increased today. 53.13%. I can understand. FDA approval is really important I now have seen share prices and companies be made because of FDA approval. It can be a company making announcement. So don't ignore universal biosensors. FDA approval. I have no idea what Expresia Prime is, but the market liked it. Now back to Zuno. We'll have a look at their price query. Let's see what the answer. So the first question is, can you explain, or do you have any information that is price sensitive that have not released to the market? That's question one. Question two is in response to question one. I forget exactly what, because most companies say no to the first question, and Zuno said, we are not aware of any information that we have not released to the market. And then NA, because they answered no. And then third question usually says, well, if you said no, is there any other information that could explain why the share price is rallying? Was it like a news article, or was there a broker upgrade or anything like that? So Zuno said, we're not aware of any explanation for the recent trading other than the company's announcement advising its entry into the exclusive agency agreement with OSY Group Limited to promote the sale of Zuno products for the food supply chain sector as announced on the 6th of May 2024. So that's 2 weeks ago. More than likely, that's not the reason. Let's have a look at the Zuno chart. Is this a breakout? So more than likely, it's pretty good volume too. Pretty good volume. In fact, the chart is starting to look more interesting. We're starting to see really good volume coming through. Share price is now consolidating, going sideways. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a breakout because it's not on the back of financial news. This is just the market getting a little bit too silly. If this was on the back of really good financial news, I would have been interested in potentially trading this, maybe. Share price now is at a 1-year high, almost a 1-year high. So go Zuno, darling company. Was it COVID-19 darling, market darling? Share price went as high as 320 in July 2020 because they sell stuff that cleans stuff. Anyway, did not cleansing stuff. Anyway, let's get to the best performing companies and the worst performing companies. Osteopore, we're going to ignore that one. It says it's ETF. It's not an ETF market index. We have universal biosensors. We already know that. So most of these companies had low turnover. I'm going to ignore those. There's Zuno. So if I didn't see that announcement, I would have been sort of interested in Zuno, maybe. Schroll Group did release a trading update. So I skipped straight past that announcement, but up 21.21%. A fairly small company, market cap 7.2. That's why I completely bypassed that company. We have Lexium, company I do have hopes for, up 18.2%, but I'm not going to talk about that because turnover was $1,000. Let's have a look by market cap. Nickel Industries up 8.1%. Superloop up 9.36%. So I sold some shares in that company at $1.26. Share price did rally today. That's okay. I still maintain a little bit of a position. That's good. McMahon Holdings, KNS Corporation, Resimac, 29 Metals, another pretty good day. Baby Bunting, some interesting moves here from some companies who did not release announcements. Some other companies doing pretty well. Findi, another great day, 10.9% up. So let's have a look at Findi. Let's have a look at Findi. It just keeps going up. I just don't know what to do with this company. Just all these random days where share price just rallies, and then the next few days share price goes sideways, then another rally, share price goes sideways. No reason to sell, but I just don't know. This is now my biggest holding. Findi. It just goes. I don't know about Findi. It's just an interesting. Look at 1 year share price is up now 400%. It's just luck. I had shares in that company, just pure luck. Let's have a look at the top losers. Nothing. ADX Energy. I'm pretty sure they had a really good day yesterday, if I remember correctly. And then I think I said I would expect the share price to decrease. Yeah, probably not that much of a decrease. So big up day and now a big down day. I would like to see the share price consolidate. So yeah, it has already started to consolidate. Share price went to a low of about 17 cents and is now starting to move up. This could be an interesting time maybe to have a look at ADX Energy for maybe a trade, if you like that sort of trade. So we saw the drop in the share price. Anything else here? Nothing. Polynovo fell. I actually should also mention I took profits in Polynovo, and the reason I took profits in Polynovo was quite simple. They had a really bad day 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So that was on the 14th of March. Share price fell 6.8% on the day that day. A fairly bearish one-day candlestick. I just want to see what happened. And today, another bearish day. I sold during trading today. I sold at $2.26. The reason I sold $2.26, if the share price fell below $2.28, I was going to sell. Fell to $2.20 or fell below $2.28, sold. It broke my, not broke my rule. It fell below my sell point. The reason that was a sell point for me is because the share price rallied up to that level and then went sideways and now has fallen through that. Now, just too much volatility and 2 bad one-day candlesticks out of 4. Some good volume coming through as well. And Polynovo is an expensive company in terms of valuation. $1.61 billion market cap, and the company is barely profitable, but the market has high expectations. So sold out at 226. I'm taking my 20% profit in that company. I haven't held it for that long. I'm going to take 20%, more than 20%, maybe 25%, 90, 45. Yeah, 25% profit in that trade. I'm always going to take that. So it's Polynovo, Alpha, anything else here? Novonix, Appen, bad day. So still a trading stock at the moment. Biome, Atlas Pearls down to 14.5 cents. So I'm going to do a grade my trade for Atlas Pearls, and I'm going to give this a high mark. I have to give it a high mark. Since my one about action sensors is going to be low, this is going to be high. So I bought, there we have, I bought it not 5.7 cents, sold at 20.5 cents. There is I sold. Didn't sell at the high, but I sold exactly what I wanted to sell after the results, and the share price has fallen. And I think one of the reasons why the share price might be falling is because pearl prices might be dropping. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. So happy with that trade. It's done fairly well. Prime Financial Group, that's one I probably should have sold out of. Didn't like their results, but it is fairly cheap at market cap of 45 million. Last thing I'm going to show you today is Zip. And I'm going to show you the 5-minute chart. So you can use 5-minute charts or shorter term charts. In fact, I'm going to get rid of you. So this is the 5-minute chart. I was looking at this because over about it would have been about a 7 trading day period, the share price of Zip was trading in between $1.18 and $1.32. And you can actually see it perfectly. It moved into this trading range on the 6th of March. And when the share price moved to $1.32, we saw it sell off. Share price then bounced off $1.18 a few times. The last time was on the 15th of March. But $1.32 was around that level, $1.33, $1.32, was a fairly interesting, important resistance level for this company. So if we zoom back in to the 18th of March, so yesterday, as I'm recording this video, at 9:10 a.m., the share price in this 5 minutes rose 2.71% to $1.33. Share price broke above that level and just went sideways for 20 minutes. And then at 9:30 a.m., the share price increased by 2% on good volume as well. And that was the breakout. And the share price has gone higher. So there was a bit of a breakout just by looking at the 5-minute chart for Zip at 9:30 a.m., around 9:30 a.m. on the 18th of March. So you can look at breakouts at all different time steps. So if you look at the daily chart for this, you can see it on the daily chart, but because it happened over a 7-day trading period, it's less clear. Anyway, so I'm very happy I bought back into Zip. I sold at $1.25. It was a bad decision. I thought there was a really weak candlestick here, but I bought back in when I realized I think it's just in a trading range. I didn't buy at the bottom of the trading range. The share price really did get to the bottom of the trading range again after I bought back in. Anyway, so Zip looks pretty good right now. No reason to sell out at this point in time. I might take my profits if it goes below $1.33 and stays below $1.33. I'll just take my profits. Small profit in this regard. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. Went a little bit longer than I was hoping. If you have any questions, let's leave it in the comment section of this video. I probably won't answer any questions in tomorrow's video because more than likely it'll be a short video, 20-minute video without looking at any comments. So more than likely any answers I will give in Thursday's edition of this video. So last thing I should mention is I am not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.